Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Traveling Knitter. I'm your host, Steph, and it is chapter 67. Yeah. And it is August 30th, Sunday, 2020. I have a lot of stuff to talk about because I have been doing a lot of knitting. I have just felt so inspired to knit, to create, to cast on everything. I could just tell I'm in a lot better mood than I was for the last couple months. I think I talked about it a bit in the last episode. I'm typically a very chipper person, so when I'm in a bad mood, I feel bad because of said bad mood. So anyway, I want to just jump right in because I really want to keep these podcasts a little bit shorter than what they have been recently. So I want to just jump in, and we will start with my completed object, which is actually over here, primed and ready on sock blockers. They are my Abisko socks, and these come from the Making Stories Woods publication. And the Abisko socks are by Dubec, and the yarn I used is Morris & Sons 4-ply, Estate 4-ply, in the marine green. I've talked about this before, but this yarn was purchased in Sydney when I went with my best friend on an Australian road trip. It felt really good to knit with this. It has a Regia feel to it, like an opal, a very workhorse yarn, as they say. And I'm gonna shift this so that you can see the patterning a little better. So it has a lace detail on the front. Are you seeing that? It has that lace detail, and obviously all one color. This was, I'm assuming, a rounded toe, and then the heel was a German short row heel. I liked doing it, but it's really gapey. Like, it has, you can't really see it because of the two layers of yarn, but can you see that with my hand? Like, it's just gaping a lot. So I don't really like that, but I like knitting it, so I'll probably do it again. So there is my completed object, which is great to have that done. So then when we move into current objects, whips, I have a lot going on. So number one I want to talk about is a test knit that I am doing. And it is for the Twisted Vine sweater, and dang it, I forgot. Let me look up the name, because it's very rude of me to not have the name. It is the Twisted Vines sweater by Joanne Forgione. It's Forgione, and that I'll have that on the screen somewhere. So I'm test knitting this for Making Stories issue 5. I think it's issue 5 because I think issue 4 is what's coming out. And there was a hunk of my hair on my leg. I shed hair like I don't know, something that sheds a lot, like a cat. My hair just comes out of my head, and yet there's still so much of it. Anyway, so I'm pretty far. I have got this much done. So it is a full skein, and then I worked on 2 different skeins for the top because I wasn't really sure about if I was gonna need to alternate skeins. And I don't think I will, but just to be sure, I am going to knit this sleeve with the skein that I used here, this sleeve with the skein I used here, and so I'm not done with the body, but I figured I could just see how far I got with these 2 skeins. I'm assuming I'm not going to use up an entire skein skein knitting a sleeve. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, I'm not sure. But then I'm thinking of just using the leftovers for this, and maybe I won't end up using the 4th skein that I purchased. Because I have a feeling if I do dig into that, it's gonna be minimal, which would be a waste. I am loving this color. I don't know, it's deeper on the viewfinder than what it is in real life. It is Echo View Fiber Mill Ranger Merino DK. It's a 3-ply DK, and the color is Warbler Yellow. So that's the yarn I'm using. It is the yarn that the sample is knit out of. So I went ahead, just got the same one because we got a really good discount on it. And I am really liking this yarn. Really liking this. And funny story, last weekend, my best friend messaged me. It's really nice to live in the same city as my best friend again. So she texted me, she's like, hey, do you want to go see my yarn stores? And I was like, yes. Even though I bought so much yarn recently and I've just been buying things when I really shouldn't be. But I was like, yeah, let's do it. And one of the yarn stores we went to had this Echo View fiber mill yarn. And I was like, what? I've never heard of this before. And now I'm seeing it at this yarn store. I would knit with this again. I absolutely would. It is so nice. It's a little scratchy, but probably people who are used to rustic yarns would say this is not scratchy at all. I'm wondering if it's going to like soften up more when I wash it. I'm really liking it. I'm really liking that all of the colors or the skeins are like spot on the same. And it does have a bit of variation, and I didn't notice it when I was winding it up on the in a ball, but I notice it in the knit fabric where I can see lines of stitches that are a bit puffed out more than the other ones. So anyway, I'm really liking it. The detailing is pretty much what is going to be on the sleeve. So it's going to have this twisted stitches panel running down the top of the sleeve. So it'll be on both sides. This is the first time that I've ever done like a V-neck. V-necks are not my favorite thing. As a small boobed person, I don't know. I wear a 32A, so there's not much here. So I typically don't wear V-neck shirts because I don't have a crevice. You know what I mean? Like there's no divot here. It's just flat. You're just gonna see like my clavicle. So a V-neck shirt just really doesn't do much for me unless I'm like, you know, wearing that bra, which I don't, but anyway. So V-necks are typically not my preferred. So I was kind of like, I don't know, but you know what? It's not low and it's not like a dramatic V-neck. I think it's gonna look really good. I'm excited. And I think also because it's not like a sharp V-neck. Who knows? Maybe I'll hate it. I doubt I will because I'm loving the yarn, I'm loving the color. I think the sleeve interest detail is gonna be really awesome. I'm breezing through. I am slightly on a pause because I have to pick up the stitches, and the picking up the stitches instructions is a whole paragraph. So instead of just saying, you know, pick up 40 stitches, it's like pick up this amount of stitches on this side, pick up this amount of stitches here, this amount of stitches here. And I'm sure it's easy, but like I was hoping to just see pick up 40 stitches and then be done with it. So I was just gonna need to be on my computer when I do this, and I just don't feel like doing that. So that's that. The bag I am using is Darn Yarn MN. It's a peekaboo bag. It's got little babushka dolls. Very cute. And, oh, do you want to know what yarn needle size I'm using? So I am using, there's two sizes. I'm going to be using a size 2, US 2 for the smaller needle size, and a US size 4 for the larger. And I did do a swatch, and I hit gauge after washing, but essentially I had to drop down 2 needle sizes, which is not that abnormal. I am a very loose knitter. So the next thing I'll talk about is this guy, because it's right here. This got a lot of work on it, and really it's because it's mindless, but it is the Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry. So many people have knit this. This is so popular, and I am knitting it out of the Lina issue 2 magazine, and here it is. So you can see there's my progress keeper. It is basically at the end of the lace section. So typically it's a garter, but then it switched to a lace. And then I did a whole mohair panel, another garter panel, and then I am in a mohair panel. My best friend has knit this. I love hers. She got a yarn club. I forget from the dyer, but the skein of yarn that she used is amazing. I love it so much. So yeah, so she's knit it, and I was talking to her about it, and I believe I said this before, I don't like this mohair section. I don't like knitting this. The mohair is a pain in the ass, and I also don't like basically the starting, because I always slip the first stitch so that I have a nice clean edge, but slipping the first stitch is a pain on this shawl. I won't explain why, because it's a paid for pattern, but the way that the increases happen, slipping is not, it's just annoying. So I find that I will not slip the first stitch when I'm changing, especially to the mohair, because but then I don't know, the side, the edging is not as nice as it would normally be because of the way the increases work. So I'll be happy when this is done. I'm excited for this project. I don't think I would ever knit this again, the Birds of a Feather, because of the way that the increase is, and really just the mohair is just not my favorite. I don't like knitting with straight up mohair, unfortunately, because it's such a trend right now. But yeah, it's not that I don't like knitting with mohair, I just don't like knitting straight up mohair. So that is that. I've made a lot of progress on it. I'll move my progress keeper, which, if I didn't mention, is from one of the yarn clubs that Molly of a Homespun House did, and it was for a Harry Potter yarn club, and this is a pygmy puff. And that is in my Fringe Supply Company field bag, and I've got 2 adorable pins on them. One is Crunk, and this Niffler, which I love this Niffler, it just makes me laugh. And the yarn. The yarn is Teal Torch Knits in her fluff base and her sock base. And the fluff base is Sinking in My Soul, and this one is A Sunday Kind of Love. Loving it. I didn't realize that I wouldn't need this other skein, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this, but it's caked up, so I need to use it, when I use this, or when I finish this. The next thing that I can talk about is a mystery knit-along. So, if you are participating in this mystery knit-along, or you want to and you don't want to be spoiled because you haven't started yet, look away. But this is Yarn Flakes Page of Wands Mystery Cow. The first clue was provided last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, and then the second clue was just this past Friday. I have not finished clue 1 yet. I just got behind, but I am almost finished with it. And this is what it looks like. So it's a cowl that you knit in the round. It is color work. There are 2 colors and then an optional third. So my optional third, you can barely see it, but it's a yellow. Apologies for the lighting change, but my battery died and I needed to charge it, and now it's dark. So we're just gonna keep going. The mystery yarn, or the mystery cowl, so it is Finogon, which is Ramagon, which is a Norwegian yarn, and so there's a pinky color and then a reddish rust color, and then I do have a yellow, which is Jameson Spindrift in the gold colorway, which is 289. This is my first Jameson Spindrift, so comparing the two, this is softer than this. This is rougher. They're both rustic yarns though. I am enjoying knitting on this. My stitches fall off like a lot because of the cable I'm using. I think is a 16-inch cable. So Audrey recommends, I think, a 24. So I don't have a 24, and the size that she recommended was like it's like a US 2.5, which apparently I have, but only in a fixed 16. So it's working fine. It's just when I put it down, I tend to drop some stitches on it. But yeah, so I am working on the first clue. Like I said, I have, I don't know how many, like 15 more rows before I get to clue 2. But there you go. That's what it's looking like. And I'm pretty excited. I think this will look awesome. I love color work. I love when color work has a theme to it. So with this is like tarot cards. I made a Star Wars scarf, which I have not even watched Star Wars, but I just loved the idea of that Star Wars scarf. And I would love to do some like bookish themed scarves like that. But anyway, yeah, here is this guy. And I am maintaining that inside of this market basket. I will say it is too small for this project. I really should have it in a bigger project bag, but it just looks so cute in there. And I think once I use up the first 2 skeins, it will definitely fit in here better. But that's that. And because I'm lazy, what I actually end up doing is I will take a screenshot of the chart on my phone, and then I will just print the screenshot instead of printing the pattern, because I don't need all of the instructions. I just need the chart to do that. So that is Page of Wands Mystery Cowl by Audrey Borrego, and a new clue comes out every Friday, and it is in English and in French, if you are French speaking. I am not. Okay, the next 2 things that I will quickly mention are my personal designs. So I am finishing up this shawl right here. It is 2 skeins of fingering weight plus mini skeins, and you are doing a triangle, but you're starting from this, well, it's more so like a weird trapezoid, but you're starting from this end and then knitting until this point over here. So it looks like that. And then the center is a lace panel, and then these are welts. So, and the lace isn't necessarily double-sided, but there are welts on both sides of the shawl. I just thought it would look cool because when you wrap it, you know, the ends of the shawl you're gonna have on both sides. So that is that shawl, and yeah, so be on the lookout for that coming out soon. And then the other thing that I'm working on that is my own design are a pair of socks. So you really can't see anything because this is attempt number 2 on these socks. So it's there's going to be a lace cable motif, pretty simple, but it's going to, well, originally I was gonna have it off center, but then when I realized it wasn't gonna work having it off center because of the size that it was. So I then switched it up and moved it to be a center panel, and then expanded part of it so that it would extend out. And then I also worked out how I would expand it for larger sizes. So the one I'm knitting is the 56, so that will be the smallest size, and there'll be a 64 and a 72. And you are going to start out with twisted rib, and this is a really dark red, so you won't, you know, I mean, it's dark. So it'll go twisted rib, and then you're gonna kind of do some welts, and then you will go into the lace cable panel, and this is the yarn that I'm using, which it's really dark. Like, I'm saying the yarn is dark as well. So this is actually like, I think it's Misty Alpaca is this brand, but so that's what that is. And I am keeping that inside of a Minnie Mouse bag, which if you are not aware, I have an Etsy shop, and I do have one of these bags in the shop as well. So if you're interested, I have one of those. And I'll put all this back. And the mini that I'm using is from Once Upon a Corgi, her advent calendar of 2019. And the minis for the shawl are actually from Woolberry Fiber Co's advent calendar of 2018. I'm pretty sure they're all hers. They might not be. One might be from Julie of Sweet Sparrow, but I'd have to look at them again. But either way, they're advent calendars that I'm using those minis from. And that is everything that I am actively working on currently. But we do have on the horizon, and it is in this guy, which I think is the Porter. I think the Porter bin. I didn't realize that I bought brown. I thought I bought black, but when it came, I was like, oh, it's brown. So that was interesting. I like the brown, but I would have liked the black more. But anyway, this is the All of the Lights by Joji Locatelli. And I have not wound up all the skeins, but I do have 2 because of alternating. And this is the Fiber Seed Sprout Decay. All of the Lights is an Oliver cabled cardigan jacket, and I'm going to be knitting that for the Joji Fall Cowl, which starts tomorrow. So I'm hoping to cast on with everything that I already motorcyclists, they're so considerate. With everything that I have currently cast on, I'm not sure if I have any open needles. The needles that I need are a US size 6 and a US size 4, which I typically have to drop down. So, I mean, I am already using size 4 for the sweater that I'm knitting. So we'll see when I do a gauge swatch for this, but this is on the horizon and I will probably cast that on this week. And then I also signed up, so with Hohi's Cowl, you actually fill out a form to sign up for it, and you put in information, and then you're gonna get a number. So when you finish that, your number goes into a drawing. So I've got that, and then I also entered for a shawl that is blanking what it's called, but I'm gonna use my hand-dyed yarn to knit that shawl. So that's what's on my horizon. I'm looking forward to the Hohi Cowl. I've never participated in it, so I'm pretty excited too. And then we're gonna get to a pretty lengthy part of this episode, which is Smaug's Trove. Yeah, I told you how I went to a bunch of yarn stores. Before we jump into that, I did buy like non-knitty things. One of those being, I bought a yard of fabric that has printed masks on it and with instructions of how to make them. So I had planned to do that this weekend, but I did other things instead this weekend. The weekends just fly by and I never get as much done as what I want to. But I got that, and then I also picked up this. It is a embroidery doll kit for this koala. They had a sample of one of these dolls, and it was so cute. And so then I had a couple of these kits, and I'm trying to get, let me just show you. So I got a skill set level 1 to start out with, but here are some examples. Are these not the cutest things that you have ever seen? I want to collect them all. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. I really hope that I enjoy these because I want them. I want to collect them. And you know, it comes in a cute little kit. I paid $18 for this. It's made in Canada and it's from KirikiPress.com. So cute. Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, now onto the yarn. First, I'll talk about what I purchased because I did get some gifts in the mail. So first thing, I purchased 5 skeins of this crazy yarn. Like, it's called Crazy, no two are alike, StoneHedgeFiberMill.com. It's a sport weight and it is 230 yards, about 2.5 ounces, which I think is 50 grams. But here they are, and my plan with these is to knit the Shift. It's the Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and I'm thinking I'm going to use these 3 skeins, and then these 2 I'm going to use for color work for something, but I'm very excited. So again, move my hair off of this. Really pumped to do that cowl. One of the yarn stores we visited, unfortunately, is closing. You know, COVID is not kind, and yarn stores, from what I've, like with my research, most yarn stores make their sales from in-store purchases, which to me makes sense. It's kind of hard buying yarn online, and I much prefer to see it in person because the colors are different. You know, you can feel how soft it is. you're just more inspired, you can put them together. So anyway, this yarn store was closing and she had everything on sale, so I picked up some yarn there. I grabbed this, the Jameson Spindrift was from there, and then I grabbed some mohair. I grabbed Ito Sensei Mohair Silk, which is, it's 20 grams? 20 grams, 262 yards. So maybe I should have bought 2, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with it, and I thought I would just grab some. And then I also picked up 25 grams of Rowan Kid Silk Haze. I just really like these colors, and I thought they would look good, you know, with a hat or something, like a Kobu hat. Then we went to, and all of the crazy yarn was actually purchased at they're more so a fabric store, but they also have a wall of yarn, so that was from there. And then the last yarn store is where I spent the majority of my money. I purchased 4 skeins of Scout. My hair is just everywhere. So I purchased 3 skeins of the Charcoal Heather. And here is the yarn label so you can see that. So I purchased 3, and then I purchased another Scout in the Graphite Heather, so a light gray color. Scout is 100 grams, 274 yards, and I purchased this to go with the Electric Feel highlighter yellow yarn that I purchased from a homespun house for a sweater. So that's what this is. Purchased with intent. Now this is definitely not the same. It's much more rustic. It's loosely plied, whereas the Electric Feel looks like a superwash, but it's not. It's a non-superwash. But I think it's gonna look really good together. And at first I was looking for like a navy blue, but the more I thought about it, I felt like the bright yellow was just, it needed to be front and center, and it did not need any other colors with it. Then I grabbed 3 skeins because I saw them next to each other. I fell in love. I have not had this yarn before, and I thought it would look amazing in a 3-color shawl. So picked them up, and it's these 3. So they are Chasing Rabbits Fiber Company, and the colorways are, and they're Polwarth yarn. So it's it's not as soft as merino, a little bit more toothier, but not as toothy as BFL. This is Serenade on top, and then Campari Ice is the peachy color, and Pink Sand is the pinkish brown blush color on the end here. And those are all fingering weights. New Zealand Polwarth yarn. Yeah, like I said, I hadn't really heard of this yarn company before, so I bought it, because why not? And then the last thing I picked up, doesn't this just scream Halloween to you? It does me. And I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to knit some socks that are going to be, there's gonna be black bats on the top, like on near the cuff or on the leg. And I did a quick search. I didn't find exactly what I wanted on Ravelry, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna do it myself, and because I want to do the bats, but then I also want some texture to the sock. But yeah, I'm very excited. These will be Halloween knits for sure. And then next we'll jump to what I received in the mail. My Abisko socks, I won a giveaway from Making Stories, which is so amazing. I still need to post my picture, but they sent me 3 skeins of yarn, all 3 of which I have been so excited to try. So I got 2 skeins of Borrego, which is from Retrosaria, Rosa Pomar. I feel weird because I can speak German, I can read German, and so when I see these, I don't want to like pronounce it in an American accent, like Retrosaria Rosa Pomar. I feel like that just sounds so dumb. But I don't know, because I don't speak Portuguese or Spanish. I mean, I have elementary Spanish languages, like me llamo a Stephanie. So I don't know how you pronounce it, or all I hear is like Europeans, French and German pronounce it as Retrosaria Rosa Pomar. So I don't know, is that how you pronounce it, or is that like pronouncing it with a German accent? I don't know, but either way, I have 2 skeins of Bruska or Brushka or Bruska. I love their labels because they have that hand-drawn picture. They have Mondim, which has a hand-drawn picture on there. And this is color 8C. It is a burgundy red, which I'm going to say, burgundy wine color red is my favorite color. It is. Red used to be my favorite color when I was little, and then it became purple, and it's been purple for a really long time. But it's back to burgundy. It definitely is. And then the second or the third skein of yarn that I was sent, which I'm the most excited for, is Woolly Mammoth Fibers in her BFL Masham DK. I'm so excited for this. So excited. I've wanted to buy from Woolly Mammoth, but it is, you know, it's over $30, which I have no problems buying expensive yarn, but because it's natural dyed and they're $30 and above, I really wanted to make that purchase worthwhile and know going in, why am I buying this, instead of just picking a color and going with it. So I'm really excited to have this. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this, but I'm excited nonetheless. And then the next grouping is from Wool Swap. So I participated in Wool Swap for the very first time, and my partner was lovely, and I feel terrible because I think my package to her is stuck in customs. I have been looking, and all I can tell is that it went to Chicago, and then it says it has like left Chicago, but there has not been any other updates since then, and it has been over a week. Like, I mailed mine before she mailed her package to me, and I got mine over a week ago. So I don't know what's happening. I mean, COVID, but I feel terrible. But either way, shipping to Canada was crazy. I paid $50 to ship that package. I couldn't believe it. It was really expensive. Wool Swap is definitely not something I'm going to do all the time, because $50 to ship yarn was crazy to me. Side note, I watched Hohi's last journal where she talked about how much money she pays for shipping as well as duties. I've said it before, but there's one thing I like about the US is we don't pay any sort of duty taxes on the imports. I would not buy yarn. No. Like, she said she paid $90 for 3 skeins or 4 skeins of yarn for the taxes on it. Holy crap. No, I'm not doing that. No, thank you. The US has me spoiled in that aspect. But anyway, I got a lovely package from her, and I'll show you the yarn she got me. So she's in Canada, and I won't say her name because she, I mean, it's a podcast. She probably doesn't need me to do that. But she sent me this Lina Tinta a la Main hand-dyed yarn, Louise Robert design. I've never heard of her, but it is super sock, and I guess this was a club colorway, and it's already in the 2 cakes, but it's socks, and it is like an acid green with a reddish brown. These would be also awesome Halloween socks. The thing is, Halloween #2020 is canceled. Not gonna be able to do anything. Won't be able to dress up. I mean, I can, but I'll be like here, so why bother? So my friend and I were just gonna make Halloween stuff. She's doing an awesome sweater. If she lets me, I'll post a picture of it in here so you can see it, but it's gonna look so good. I'm gonna do some socks. So yeah, so that was one. She then also got me, everything is Canadian based, which is awesome because I kind of asked for that. She then sent me Julie Aslin Fino, and it is merino cashmere silk. And this is like a taupey gray with gray speckles. I am very excited for this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. The drape is gonna be lovely. It'll probably be a shawl. I don't know if I'll just do a 2 skein shawl, or I'm not sure, but I'm very excited for this. And then she also got me this, which I had not heard of either. And then I watched an episode of the Grocery Girls, and they talked about this yarn, but it's Estelle Yarns, and she got me a worsted weight, 3 skeins, and the color is Q61222. It's like a forest green. It's kind of showing up like a jewel tone on the screen. It's not. It's like a flat forest green. So it's really lovely. It's very soft, and it's 50%, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50? Yeah. Or no, it's 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% nylon. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this either, but I'm very excited to have this in my stash. I feel like this yarn would probably make really good sweaters. This is not enough to make a sweater for me because it's worsted weight. If this was fingering and it was 3 skeins, I could definitely do a sweater out of it, but with worsted weight, I would need something else. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm very excited to have it nonetheless. I love getting yarn that I've never heard of or seen before. And another thing I want to point out is that she got me this cute, my hair is everywhere, this cute Canada Project bag. It doesn't feel like it has interfacing. It's very like crunch it up. The brand or the maker is Poppycod, and I love it. It came this big one, and then there's a smaller one that it fell when I picked this one up, but I'm loving this. So very cute. I also got a stitch marker that had a maple leaf on it. There were some goodies. She sent me some soap, which I was so excited about. I love hand soap. Love hand soap. Love it. Oh, and she sent me a bath bomb, which I'm very excited to use. I haven't used it yet, but I will because I love taking baths. So that is all of the yarn. There's a lot. It's a lot. But I've cast on so much stuff. I'm knitting through quite a lot of yarn. I'm loving it. This is the pile of stuff that needs their ends woven in. Why, is that my weekend sweater? Yeah, it is. Did I weave in the ends? No, I wove in some of them, but not all of them. Whatever. It's fine. You guys aren't judging me, right? Other than a couple years ago, someone commented that I need to weave in my ends. I was like, really? I don't know. Negative energy, people. Just inhale it yourself. Okay. I have not finished any of my books. I'm so close. Like, I'm so close to finishing 3 books. But whatever. So hopefully next time. But honestly, with the amount of knitting, with the amount of working and knitting, it's one of the hobbies has to just drop for a bit. So we'll skip the novel idea. But for my spotlight, where's my phone? It's probably under all of this yarn. For the spotlight, I want to highlight an Instagram account. I need to learn how to record my phone, and then I can just put it up here and you could see what I'm doing. Oh, as a side note, Woolberry Fiber Co.'s road trip collection was just shown and it is gorgeous. I tried to buy it and I set an alarm for myself, and when I went, it was already sold out. And then I didn't realize that she was gonna do another sale of it, so I missed that. So that was kind of disappointing. I was looking forward to that, but you know what? The amount of money that I've spent on yarn, and I still kind of want to get another advent calendar. Okay, why am I searching? I know what I want to look for. Okay, so this is My Knitted Wardrobe, Kelly Ain, I think. I don't think she's a designer. I think she's just a knitter and a person who likes plants. But I really like her pictures. So she's got pictures of plants, and then of her projects. And she just tends to have a plant in all of her pictures. So I really like that because I also have a lot of plants. The sock is really nice. It looks so good. It's mosaic knitting. There she is. She is in London. I think those are the Simple House slippers. More socks. I think these are the ones that have a really awesome picture. Flowers. More socks. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this picture, but I really like it, which I should like it. I'm terrible at that. I don't like pictures a lot. I just look at them like, oh, that's really nice, and then I don't like them. I really need to get better at that. But there's just something about this picture that I really like it. Like, if I had done this, I feel like this would look really good framed. Is that weird? I just really like this picture. I also really like those socks. Maybe she did design them because she's not hashtagging what those socks are. Okay, yeah, she did design them. Okay, well, now I'm gonna look. So that was in April, which means I'm assuming it's out. Yes! And they're free! Oh my gosh, guys, everyone! Those socks are free! Oh man, okay, so I'm just gonna go get them right now. Laid edges is what they're called. So, yeah, guys, get it now. That's amazing. Okay, added, done, added. Oh, but this is DK. I was gonna say this would be amazing for that. Okay. So what's been going on in my life? Well, my Etsy store. I I'm still working with the Etsy store, so I've got the project bags. I'm thinking of doing some other types of bags, like some totes, some little like pocket change bags, things like that. If you are interested, I will include my Etsy link down below in the down bar down there, so you can check it out. I'm back on the workout train. I've been pretend training for a half marathon. Today, not so good. I was supposed to run 5 miles. I did traverse 5 miles, but I did not run all 5 of those miles. I was on a treadmill. The gym is just a little too hot for me. Like, I wish it was just slightly cooler in there. But yeah, otherwise, and I'm running in the gym at my apartment instead of outside because you are supposed to wear a mask when you run. I have asthma, and normally it's fine, but I just have a strong feeling that running while having a mask is just not going to be pleasant at all for me. So I'm just gonna avoid it and just run inside. Almost no one uses the gym at my apartment. Like, I've literally seen 2 people since I've been working out, and I started working out as soon as the gym opened, which I want to say was in May. So don't ever see anyone. And I work out at all hours. I've worked out early morning, I work out at lunch, I work out right after work, so around 5 or 6, and then I've also recently started working out at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. The 8, 9 o'clock is when I have seen those 2 people, but 2, and there's like almost 100 units in this building. That's perfect for me because I like to work out without having earbuds in, so I can just set my phone there and then I can listen and sing along, and no one's there to see or hear, I should say. If you are interested in like the workouts that I do, I've talked about it before. I use Fitness Blender a lot. Fitness Blender is a free online massive amount of videos that you can watch, and you can program them onto a calendar so you can make your own schedule, or you can pay for the programs, and what they'll do is they'll organize the classes that you should take. It's like $15 for most of them. They do sales around Black Friday, so I've bought I think I've purchased 1 at full price and then 2 at a discounted price, and they're worth it. They're so worth it. And then as for a running training program, I actually use Runkeeper. So I love tracking. I'm a big fan of trackers. And so with working out, I have a Fitbit because I love it tracking my steps. But Runkeeper, let me close it out. So Runkeeper is this guy up here. So it's blue with a little man running. And Runkeeper is, it's free, but then you can also pay for a yearly or monthly subscription. I pay for the yearly because I do use it a lot. Every run I do is tracked through Runkeeper. And when you pay for the subscription, you get added stats and stats and statistics are the same word. You get more statistics that you can see, like, are you getting better at something? The base one you can track unlimited amount of runs. And there's more than just running. You can track swimming, you can track bicycle riding. Actually here, I'll just click on the activity. So running, cycling, walking, mountain bike, hiking, downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, snowboarding, skating, swimming, being on a wheelchair, rowing, Nordic walking, and then you can also select a bunch of stationary equipment. So because I'm working out in the gym, I will mark that I ran, but then I will put in that I was on a treadmill, but I can also do the same thing with an elliptical. So that just helps me because I can see like, okay, I was really fast, but it was on a treadmill, which tells me the treadmill was not tracking the distance correctly. But anyway, so there is this training section, and what you can do is pick out a training program that you want to do. So this is how I trained for my very first live with other people half marathon. And when I trained, you know, I mean, it sucks. Training just sucks. It eats out your time. But what I like is that it's doing the thinking for me. So I just see, this is what I need to do, and then I just do it instead of me thinking, okay, what should I do? Because I'm less likely to push myself if it's me doing that. So again, you know, it shows me what I need to do for this week, and I told it how often I want to work out, and so it, you know, it respects that. It puts how many days I want to work out. And so for example, this week it says like Sunday is the first day of the week, but to me Sunday is the last day. So it's the end of the training, but so this week's end was 5 miles, and then next week starts out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm running 2 miles, and then sprinting, and then 3 miles, and then on Sunday I will run 6 miles. So, and you've got an overview, so you can really see everything that you're gonna do. It explains why you're gonna do it. So there's preconditioning, and then there is going faster, so it'll have you pick up the pace. There's another one, going further, so it works with you on being able to do a longer distance for a longer time. Then there is another section of fine tuning, so it's gonna have me doing essentially almost a half marathon. But yeah, so it's worth it to me. I think it's like $50 or $60 for the full year. This is my 3rd year, I think, of paying for it, and I love it. I think it's great. Again, tracking, so it's tracked a total of 1,200 miles. I have tracked 463 runs. I have friends, so when I see a friend do, you know, there's a social media aspect to it, so you can like other people's runs. And that's another thing too. It has a map, so it tracks your runs, kind of like the Map My Runs, all of those. I think those are with Under Armour or Nike or something. You can set a goal with it, and so clearly COVID had me failing with mine, but I'm getting up there. I had originally set it to 300 miles this year, which is what I hit, like 350 last year. I had to decrease it to 150, but because I'm back on the training, I'm halfway there to 150, so who knows, maybe I'll hit 200 or something. We'll see. So yeah, I really recommend that. It helps me stay motivated with working out. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I put up pictures in my apartment finally. I built a dresser. I built 2 shelves. What else have I done? I mean, aside from working a lot. One of my friends from Dayton came over, which was awesome. So we went to this like art thing, statues of corn. It was pretty phallic. Yeah, there's gonna be clips at the beginning. It was weird, but interesting fact, every single corn is different. Like every single cob is different. They didn't use a mold. And there's over 100 of them. I didn't count, but it was over 100, which is just funny. It was surprisingly busy. More people than I thought were at the corn statues. So that was cool. And then I showed her a lot of the deer statues that are at the river. We watched My Neighbor Totoro, and we just chatted and caught up, and it was really lovely. And then I went to my best friend's place and we played board games and we talked about knitting, which is pretty on par for us because now that I no longer live in Dayton and I don't see my knitting group every week, she's the only person that knits that I talk to regularly anymore. And I think I might be the only person that knits as well that she talks to. So yeah, we get together and we talk a lot about knitting, but yeah. And I think I'm gonna end it there. It's probably gonna be super long again, but there was a lot of yarn to show today. Apologies again for the light. I just wanted to get this done in one group. But yeah, if you would like to follow me on social media, I am a Traveling Knitter podcast on Instagram. We also have a Ravelry group. Really nothing's going on there. And little thing, if you can't access Ravelry right now, but you want to, and you need someone to help you with changing the settings, let me know. I can do that for you. Otherwise, if you are able to use it and you can, switch it back to the old one, because I don't understand why. Well, they're giving out justifications saying that more people are using the new one, but also that in the surveys that more people like the new one. Again, you're giving a survey on a platform where if they can't use it, then they're not going to fill out the survey. So then you're not going to have as many negatives on the survey. Yep. Okay. So whatever. I will say I like the new Ravelry. I do like the new Ravelry, but you gotta stand with people. Okay. So yeah, a Traveling Knitter podcast on Ravelry. The Etsy store is a Traveling Knitter Co., but the Etsy searching is garbage. So just click the link. It'll be the easiest. Actually, I think if you literally just type www.etsy.com/a Traveling Knitter Co. enter, I think it'll get you to the page. Goodreads, if you'd like to follow me on Goodreads, I am LuluisCrazy, which LuluisCrazy is also my personal account on Instagram. And if anyone plays Xbox, I do have LuluisCrazy on there, but it is a defunct account. I can't get into it anymore because it's attached to a prodigy.net email address that my dad made in, like, I don't know, 2001. So I can't get into that account, which is so depressing. But my current active account is Tiger Lily Sky, which Tiger Lily is reference to Disney's Peter Pan, and then the sky was the Bath and Body Works lotion that was on top of my dresser, and I thought it sounded nice together. So if you want to friend me on there, you can. You can also friend me on my Switch. I always want to call it a DS, but the Switch. I've talked enough. Thank you so much, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next episode, chapter. I'll see you next time. Bye.